lovely to be with you all. I hope that you are able to settle into your practice and settle into your space. And when you're ready, find a comfortable way of sitting or lying down. Either way is fine. I'm going to adjust my lighting a little bit in this space and see if I can make it a little brighter. You can gather any props that you would like to use today. Thank you. Today our practice is called Being with What Is, finding stability amidst upheaval. I have created this practice as an offering to you, as a way of navigating and being in the current circumstances of our lives. We all have personal times of struggle and upheaval. And there are also times where these struggles are shared within community and with our world. And so you can use this practice today in the way that suits you best, on a personal level, on a communal level, or on a global level. So let's begin with a sitting practice. A moment of settling in and welcoming mindful awareness to our experience. I'll begin with the sound of our singing bowl here. Notice the sounds that come to your ears. As you stretch up through your vertebral column and crown of your head, notice any urge to inhale. And as you settle in to the support beneath you, notice any urge to relax or become easeful. And allow your ears to be open and receptive to sound around you in your own space, or sounds through this live stream video in which you might be able to hear the sounds of my bell, or the sounds of my neighbors mowing their lawn. And notice if the sounds in your environment or the ones coming through your speakers feel to you like noise or like sound. So this is a mindful listening practice. Your eyes can be open or closed, your choice. But you might be curious about how your body responds to audio input. Do you notice yourself in your body having a tense response to sound, or no response, or maybe an easeful response? It's possible that you might feel a little prickly in your skin when you hear a certain sound, and you might feel like you want to label the sound noise, which has a negative connotation perhaps. Maybe the sound of my voice is annoying. your skin reacts to that. So the mindful practice creates space for us to notice our lived experience directly. How does our body feel when we notice the information coming in through our senses? How does the nervous system react to the things that affect our experience? And what signals does our nervous system send to our brain? We're just noticing with a non-reactive mind, cultivating the strength to be a witness to our own experience, to suspend judgment for a few moments, noticing any amount of peacefulness that comes from not needing to make a judgment about something, just being with it. Being with is sometimes described as bearing witness, which is a very powerful act of solidarity, kindness, and compassion. When we bear witness to our own lived experience, we are participating in solidarity with ourselves. Notice if you have a felt sense of that in your body, what it means for you to bear witness to your own experience. And there's no wrong or right way to do that or respond to that. But whatever is arising in your body is natural and normal. Notice how it feels to just be here now in this particular moment. What sensations do you notice? When you are ready, consider lifting your gaze or blinking open your eyes, looking around your space. Allow your eyes to move slowly from one object to another around your space. And if it feels okay, let your head move as well. You might start by only moving your eyes. Notice if you can feel the muscles behind your eyes working to help you look up and down, side to side, and even in arcs or circles. Feel any amount of stretch in your eyes. Maybe open them wide and then relax them. And then allow your eyes to look around and settle on something in particular. Turn your head to one side and look that way. Notice a color on that side of the room. And then when you're ready, turning your head to center and looking to the other side, and notice a color over here. And then bringing your head back to center. Whether you're lying down or seated, change your shape a little bit. If you've been seated a long time, you might want to do something different with your legs. If you've been lying down, you might want to sit up, but you don't have to. This next practice is a little bit of twisting to help stimulate the vagus nerve. So as you're ready, in any position you find yourself, invite your body to twist at your midsection. So first turn to one side, twisting your torso, maybe feel your hips shift as well. Then turn your head. And then let your eyes even keep looking all the way back into their corners. And as you're ready, come back to center. Try the other side. Turning at your midsection, let your hips shift, let your head turn, look all the way back behind you, turn your eyes into their corners. Notice something behind you, and then come back to center. Let your face tip up toward the ceiling, stretching the front of your throat, keeping the back of the neck open. And then let your gaze move through center down to the ground. Heart and chin come toward each other as you open the back of your neck. And then bring your gaze forward. And if you like, close your eyes or leave them open, but let your focus go fuzzy. And notice any shift in sensation in your body from that gentle twist. So here, notice if you feel different than you did when you first started noticing, before the movement. Anything shifting in your nervous system or your energy level. And if you like, noticing now your breath as it moves in and out at its own pace. You can let your eyes blink open again or lift your gaze as you breathe. So as we look around our space and allow our nervous system to sense the space around us, we've oriented ourselves to our environment, which allows our nervous system to relax because it sees that we're pretty much okay here. Nothing in this particular moment seems too out of whack in our space, and we can settle and be in the present. So you've oriented to your space, you've stimulated your vagus nerve and relaxed your body a little bit. And now we'll get into some bigger movements to continue that work of allowing the body a moment of rest in time. So if it feels okay to you, let's start by taking some deeper breaths and using our body to move in various ways. Finding some stability. Begin by noticing where you're sitting. And if you're still lying down, feel free to come back up. Find your sitting bones. Find length in your spine. As you're ready, invite your sitting bones to press deeper into the ground and noticing any amount of connection between your body and what supports you, the earth beneath the floor of your home or your space. Notice or invite any amount of connection to groundedness or to ground. Find a sense of stability there. So we've started with the energy, and now we'll have some physical movement. So as you're ready, shift side to side, rocking on your sitting bones a little bit. If you like, bring the soles of your feet together. Shift forward, shift back, and then side to side. Your legs can be in any shape that suits you, that suits your joints. Forward and back. Feeling that we have a solid ground on which to rest. And then as you're ready, invite your spine to lengthen, reach your arms forward and up. And exhale as you bring your hands out and down. Shift your leg position if you like. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, reach out and down. And then last time, a little slower. Inhale, forward and up. Breathe in until you feel just right. And embrace your breath up there. Hold it in a bit and let the oxygen really permeate your body. And then as you exhale, turn your palms away from each other. Or let the arms come down ever so slowly and breathe out ever so slowly if it feels okay. like you're pressing the arms down through some thick air. Nice. From here, start warming up the body in bigger ways. So as you're ready, shift your feet to one side. Come up onto hands and knees in table pose and do some exploring. Move off your mat any props that might be inhibiting your movement. And then shift around so you warm up your wrists a little bit. Make circles with your torso. And then as you're ready, settling towards center, round the back in cat pose, and arch the back in cow pose. And do that as many times as you feel like doing it. Taking care to notice new sensations in your body. Noticing two shifts of energy in your body. And these can be as deep or as shallow movements as you like. Make some more circles. So you're warming up wrists, a little bit in the knees, a little bit in the hips. You can even come all the way forward into like a modified upward dog, and then all the way back into a version of extended child's pose. And then let's start warming up the side body. So as you're ready, extend your right leg out behind you. And if you want to, press through the heel, feel the stretch in your calf muscle, and then let the leg float. If it feels okay, cross the right leg over your left so that the ball of the right foot comes to the floor on the outside of your mat. And then twist so that you can look back at that right foot. Your left shoulder goes to your left hip, and you're turning your head to the left. And then maybe shift around just a little bit, feel into that, what feels better for you. And then as you're ready, engage your core muscles of your front body to lift the leg a little and let it float back to center and then all the way out to the right side off of your mat. And see if you can pivot on the foot so that the sole of your foot comes to the ground. And the shape or angle of this is particular to you. So you might want to explore a little bit. What does it feel like to shift my hips back and then to shift them forward? Notice any amount of sensation in your leg, hip, inner, upper leg. And then see if it feels okay to come onto the heel of the right foot. Point the toes more toward the sky. And see if there's anything interesting there to notice. And then lastly, as you place the sole of the foot back on the ground, come onto the fingertips and walk the hands back so that you can come up to kneeling. You can use a blanket beneath your knee or fold up your mat for more padding. This is gate pose. There's different variations of this, but let's just explore a little bit, bringing your left arm up and then exhale up and over to your right. Notice sensation here. And shift in any way that will allow you to be more comfortable. See if you can take a couple of breaths looking up. Unless there's pain in the neck, and look forward or down. As you're ready, come back to center and let the other arm float up as the left arm floats down. And as you exhale, reach up and over to the left, taking your left hand to your left thigh. Your left hand could rest on a block, or it could rest on the floor. See if you can take a couple of breaths here. I'm going to put my hand on my calf. That feels interesting to me. And your hand might be on your hip. When you're ready, come back up, reaching both arms up. And as you exhale, see if you can hinge at your hips, engage your front core, and lower yourself back down ever so gently to table pose as you let the right leg float and then bring the knee back. Nice. Find some version of child's pose in which you can roll your wrists a few times in both directions, or press the hand in the opposite direction so it gets a little chance to rest. As you're ready, we'll try the other side. Floating back up with an inhalation to table pose. Resituate your hands and knees to feel stability. So ground in this moment. Press down through both hands and extend your shoulders. Looking down to the mat, let your focus be into the ground. Press your knees, shins, the fronts of your ankles, the tops of your feet, and toes into the floor. Notice what it feels like to press down. Maybe you feel your front core muscles pulling up towards your spine. So you've got this stability first before you go into balance. So as you're ready, shift your weight into your right side a little bit so that you can let your left leg extend out behind you, tucking the toes and pressing through your heel to stretch your calf. When you're ready, let the leg float and then slowly cross it over your right so that it comes to the floor on the outside of your mat. And when you're ready, take your right shoulder to your right hip, look back to your left foot. Notice if you want to explore a few inches this way, a few inches that, and notice sensation. As you feel ready, engage your front core muscles to help lift or float the left leg up and bring it all the way around to the side, off of your mat to the left, maybe resting on the big toe side or the inner side of your left foot for a moment, and then coming to the sole of the foot being sealed to the floor. And shift around here. Maybe take the shoulders forward and then back, hips forward and back, looking down or looking side to side. Finding some ways to extend or lengthen the body, and being very mindful that this side of the body might not like this. I'm going to do some bending of my left knee because I'm protecting the left hip in my body. So be encouraged to do the same for your own, in any pose, in any practice that we do. Make it supportive to your own body and your own experience. If you like, you can straighten the left leg and then unseal the foot from the floor as you pivot on the heel. Let the toes point up, the knee point up a little bit. And then feel around there. See what new sensations are present. And then only if you like, coming onto the fingertips, walking the hands back toward the knee, shifting and coming to kneeling. Making changes as needed, supporting this side of the body. Inhale, reach the right arm any amount overhead, and exhale to the side as you seal your left foot on the ground. The angle of your foot only matters insofar as your knee feels safe. So if your toes want to point forward, that's fine. Or to the side, or any angle in between. See if you can take a couple of breaths looking up. When you're ready, come to center and let the arms switch places. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to reach up and over. Right hand to right thigh in some way. Allow yourself to do a little twisting if that feels interesting. And then hand can stay on the thigh or go to a block of the floor. I'm going to try the calf, and then I'm going to put my right toes under, tuck them under and have the ball of the foot near the floor and reach for my heel. This feels interesting to me. This has grown into a happy mix of gate pose and camel pose. I'm actually feeling a little bummed that I didn't try this on the other side, but maybe the sensations weren't quite there yet. So see what you want to explore here, and don't be shy responding to your body's sensation. We've talked a lot about the body having the only language at its disposal is one of sensation. Not words, but feelings. When you're ready, come back up to center if you want to. Reach both arms up and see if you can hinge at the hips. Take the tail back as ever so gently coming to the ground again in table pose. Engage your core, lift or float your left leg and bring it back around. Finding a version of child's pose that suits your needs. Take 3 breaths here of either being still or being wiggly. Let your next exhalation be out through your mouth. As you're ready, float to table pose, inhaling. Tuck the toes under and float to resting dog with knees on ground or full downward dog with knees floating. Do a little bit of gentle breathing here to give yourself the space to notice how your body's responding to this shape today. Because your body is different every day. Do a little bit of wiggling. Find some ways to gain new information. If you do this, what do you feel? If you do that, what do you feel? If you twist, if you bend your knee, what is the response? What sensations do you notice? What happens when you look forward to the front of your mat? And what happens when you tuck your chin and look to the back of your mat? As you're ready, rise up onto the balls of the feet, and then if your toes allow, rise up onto the toe tips. And then exhale, heels down toward the floor, bend the knees a lot. Do that a couple times. Inhaling onto the tips of the toes or the balls of the feet with straight legs, and exhaling down, bend the knees. Yeah, feel length in the spine. One more time. Inhale, up, and exhale, down. Inhale, walk the feet toward the hands. And hang forward in a bent leg, ragdoll, forward fold. 5 breaths here. Invite your neck to be long and letting go of tension. Moving the head side to side or up and down. Feel the weight of your head given over to gravity. And then engage the abdominal muscles to the degree that feels supportive to you. Supporting your low back. Let the knees be as bent as is comfortable. Find the weight of your body supported in your upper legs, your lower legs, and in your feet. And if it feels okay, rock a little bit. Take your weight forward into the toes, let the heels float. And then back into the heels and let the toes float. And a few times like that. Head is heavy. Your knees are as bent as you want to feel stable. Hands can be on the legs or feet or on the floor or on blocks. And then, if you like, finding a way to walk the hands toward the right side of your mat or the outside of your right foot. And then other side. Turn the head to look behind you if that feels interesting. Allow your mind to be open and curious, bearing witness to your experience and your sensation. Suspending any form of analytics or judgment making, just letting that practice go. As you're ready, invite your heart to lift forward and up, away from your legs, extended forward fold to any degree. Maybe a slight bend stays in your knees, maybe not. Shoulders are as high as your hips so that your back muscles get a chance to use their strength. As you're ready, exhale, bend, fold, hands to the floor, shift the feet back into down dog or to resting dog. Inhale the heart forward over the hands, coming into high plank, but with the extra rounded spine. So it's kind of like a cat pose plank. And then back to down dog, exhaling. 2 more times or 3. Inhale to that cat-like plank pose. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Nice. Walk the feet toward the hands and the hands toward the feet. Inhale, extended forward fold, lifting the heart. Exhale, fold into full forward bend to the degree that's comfortable in your skin. Inhale, bend the knees, hips go down, heart goes up, come all the way to standing. Feet as wide as your hips or wider. Inhale again. Exhale, reach forward in a forward fold, but just halfway or a quarter of the way. Lengthen your spine. When you're ready, take your torso to one side. We're going to make a big circle here, and then up, and over and around, kind of like a rainbow. And then other side, but sweeping through the semicircle. Okay, let's do that again. So we're not folding all the way down to the ground, but we're staying in an extended shape, sort of torso and arms parallel to the floor. And then do the opposite direction, inhaling over to the other side and up and around. And again. Let your breath happen, or breathe on purpose, whatever feels right to you. And then come all the way back up to standing. Really reach. Remember, we're grounding and reaching at the same time. So hold this shape of upward hands. And notice your energy. Relax your toes and press down to the bony parts of your feet, the balls and the heels. And lift up everywhere else. Lifting from your waist to your lowest ribs. Maybe a little wiggling would help that sensation. Maybe rounding your back a little bit and then arching your back a little bit and reaching back. And then coming to center. Soften your jaw. Lift the corners of your mouth in a little bitty smile. Feel that you're grounded and connected and stable. Even though there's a lot of movement happening, let the arms come down. Just letting them float. Pressing through the thick air. And come to stillness in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel that your feet press through the mat, the floor, the basement, the foundation, the ground, into the core of the earth. Maybe your tailbone does the same. Imagine that the tip top of the mountain is the crown of your head going up through the ceiling, the attic, the roof to the sky, through the clouds, the atmosphere. There's a sense of stability and strength here. And it'll be from this space that we move into dynamic balancing. Maybe take your hips to one side and then the other. Just get a sense of having stability within the movement and movement within the stability. Take the hips behind and around, and forward and around, and again, the opposite direction. And then notice sensation in your hip joints maybe. And see what's here. You have that sturdy strength feeling in both legs and feet right now. And then as you're ready, either let the arms continue to be at rest, or choose a position that you like. Hands on hips, hands behind, hands at heart center, or arms wide. When you're ready, shift over to one foot and let the other foot float from the ground just an inch. And then the other side. Inhale, maybe. Exhale. Go back and forth, but real slow. It's hard to go slow. Change your arm position if you like. Breathe deeply. Stare at something maybe that won't move. Finish your next breath and come back to center. Notice sensation here. We'll try the similar movement but with a bend in the knees. So let's find that while we start, taking a moment to bend the knees a couple inches and feel the activation of the upper legs. When you're ready, using your breath or not, go ahead and move to one side. And then straighten the leg, let the other one float as high as you want. Other side with this big bend in the middle now. Really slowing our movement down. Remember that you could have a chair in front of you, and you could be holding on with one hand to the chair. Or you could do this next to your wall, and be holding on with one hand to the wall, or the fingertips. So that you get this opportunity to practice balance, not expect balance. Even if you're not holding on to something, it's practice, not expectation. A few few more rounds here, and if this time you want to explore with holding, stay to one side and breathe. Feel the muscles around your hips, your external muscles there around your pelvic bowl and upper legs. And then other side. So you'll hold the shape but not the breath. And then coming back to center, big bend in the knees, and then inhale, straight legs, reach up, up, up from your waist. And feel that stability in the ground, but the reaching up everywhere else, and exhale, arms come down to your sides. And find a little bit of stillness. Notice sensation, any change in breathing or temperature in your body. Feeling something maybe in your fingertips or your legs. From here, we'll try a little bit more dynamic balancing that will offer you an opportunity maybe to challenge yourself a little bit more. You're welcome to use a chair. I think I'll demonstrate with the chair. So I'll grab one here. You do not have to use a chair. You can use the floor, blocks, or nothing. So as you're ready, turning to face the short end of your mat. Inhale here. Maybe reach the arms forward and up. Root down, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to something. Chair, block, floor. And then as you're ready, reach into your left foot for stability and let your right foot float. Any degree. This is a variation of Warrior 3. Put a little bend in your left leg. We're going to do some dynamic balancing here. Your right leg doesn't have to be hip height. It doesn't have to be halfway. It doesn't have to be on the ground. It could be an inch. So find out what works for you. If you want to experiment with letting go of a support, come to fingertips first. And then just lift away and come back. Lift away and come back. If you're solid here and you don't have any support happening, that's fine. Choose something to do with your hands. But this is the dynamic part. Are you ready? Inhale, bend your supporting leg a couple inches. Exhale, straighten it. Inhale, bend it. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Yeah. Come back, feet on the ground. Inhale, reach up as you root down. Reaching back, maybe a little bit if that feels sweet. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend the knees. Round forward. Standing cat pose here. Wiggle the hips a little bit, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. Breathing as needed. Inhale, come back up to standing. Try the other side. Exhale, fold. Find your groove on the second side. You don't have to repeat the same thing. So give your second side a chance to give you sensation, tell you what you want to do here. So play around with height, with support, with props, and play. Find a way to play. See where you want to do the dynamic balancing practice with what support and what positioning. And then create some space between your shoulders and ears. Space between your tailbone and your crown. And then as you're ready, inhale, bend your supporting leg. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale. Both feet on the ground, rooting down as the rest of your body reaches up, full vertical, maybe even back a little. Exhale, bend the knees, standing cat pose, any variation. Wiggle the hips a little, full inhalation here. And then back to standing on 2 feet. You can move anything you want to off of your mat now. And we'll try a little bit more playfulness and moving around. Dynamic balancing. So again, facing the short side of your mat. We'll make our way to down dog any way you want. If you like, inhale, reach and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, exhale, place the hands, feet go back to high plank if you like, and then down dog. And then tighten your right fingers. Inhale, lift your right foot. And bring your right knee forward. Shift all the way over, heart over hands, to a high plank with knee floating. And then foot can come down. So we're in high lunge here a little bit. Fingertips on both hands, perhaps. And then bend your back leg and begin to straighten your front one just a little bit. See how that feels. And then straighten the back leg and bring the front knee to bend. Try that again. You want to lift your toes of your front leg, maybe. Good. And then we'll practice some lifting the back foot up. So as you're ready, push the back foot away from the floor and let it float. And then bring it down. Let it float. If you want to, lower your head, look back to the end of your mat, and just play around with that a few times. What's that feel like? Inhale and exhale on purpose. That's the yoga breathing, that you're doing it on purpose. And then if you wanted to float your hands, float your hands. And then wow, all of a sudden you're in airplane pose, but you ventured it from the floor instead of from the sky. And then come on back down. Bring the right foot back to down dog. And either stay here for a few breaths if you want to build strength, or come down to the knees if you want to build rest. 3 breaths. Last exhale through the mouth. Inhale, float up to table. Exhale, float to down dog. Tent the left fingers, lift or float the left leg up, and then bring the knee forward. Shift your heart over your hands. You're in high plank, knee lifting, and then left foot comes down. Tent the right hand. Explore. Come onto the toe of your back foot, and then reach your right back foot heel to the end of your mat as you begin to straighten your front leg. Head goes down, back and forth, at a pace that feels right in your own body. So we're inviting playfulness here, curiosity. Find your breath. And then if you want to, you're pushing the floor away with your right foot, maybe bending that knee a lot, and then taking off and setting back down. A few times like that. Breathing on purpose. That's the yoga breath, that you're doing it on purpose, not by accident. And if you want to, maybe let your hands float. Wow. Be curious about sensation. Listen to your body, and if you want to, take off airplane pose, having lifted off from the floor instead of entering from the sky as we did a moment ago. Breathing. Maybe smiling, maybe falling over and laughing. And then as you're ready, down to the ground, down dog. Stay here if you want to build strength. Come to the knees if you want to build rest. 3 breaths. Exhale on the last one. Inhale to table. Exhale to sitting with the legs on one side. So you're sitting, I'm on my left hip, my feet are to the right. My left hand is my support. I'm going to inhale and bring my right arm up. Or, if your shoulder doesn't like that angle, sweep it forward. Do what's best for your shoulder. Flatten your left hand if you want, and then push the floor away with your left hand so you can open up your right rib cage. Looking up, and then angling down the whole torso. Looking up, inhaling, and then shifting or twisting down. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, up to sitting tall. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can come onto your knees to shift your feet, or you can come onto your sitting bones, shift your feet. See what feels best in your body. Take a moment to notice. Find your support. Inhale the left arm up. or whichever side you're on, and over. Make some changes. Press the floor away with your right hand or your supporting hand, whichever one that is for you. Open up the side of your rib cage is closest to the ceiling. Really press it up. And spend a few breaths looking up and a few looking down, or moving between them. Feel into your stability. All the parts of you that are on the ground, you are stable here. Even though you're moving, things are shifting, you're stable. Within the movement, you're stable. Inhale back up. Exhale. Come to sitting at center. Notice how you want to be in this moment. My left leg wants to bend, sole of my left foot on the floor. My right leg wants to tuck under my left. So I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. You sit in the way you want to be. Inhale and exhale. Notice sensation and residual effects of that last practice. What's resonating in the body. And then when you feel called to do so, come to reclined position on the ground for a few last finishing movements before final rest or final relaxation. Okay. So you can keep the knees bent, soles of the feet on the ground. If you're feeling like you want some more hamstring stretches or inner upper leg stretches, we can do that here. Maybe first take your knees to one side then the other so you get this gentle twist happening. You can go back and forth. And please know that the position of your feet changes your experience. So if the feet are close together, you'll have one experience of twist. I'm going to try that out. And then if your feet are as wide as your mat, you're going to have a different experience of the twist. Maybe play around there. And we have this really quite a luxurious amount of time to spend on bearing witness to our lived experience in this moment. Keep your breath moving and your jaw soft. And notice that your kind awareness can bear witness to the experience you're having in this moment. And the hope would be that as we practice, we create these neural pathways in the brain, create a habit of being mindful and a habit of being kindly aware. So that when we're not on our yoga mat, we still have that response when we're out in the grocery store or the doctor's office, or we're out in the street, or we're on a walk. We can tap into this habit of grounded awareness. Notice how that changes our lives and interactions with other people. Settle back at center. Just rocking a little bit. If you like, bring the knees up. Rock a little bit. And then hold to stillness. And just let your head turn to one side if that's okay with your neck. And then let your head turn to the other side. And then head back to center. If you like, let your left foot come to the floor. And let your right leg straighten up just to the degree that it wants to experience sensation. If it's okay with you, let your hands make contact with your right leg. In the upper leg, your hands maybe can be on the outside of your leg or behind your leg on the hamstring. Spend a moment of just sensing what it's like to hold your own leg in your hand. So invite your hands to emit a sense of both support and nurture. So that the whole leg is kind of wrapped in tenderness. That knowing that this is what it's like to be held. Notice any amount of power that is present in this experience of bearing witness to yourself. If it feels okay, take your hand to a different spot, maybe on the knee or the lower leg or the ankle, foot, or toe. So this practice here isn't necessarily about how far can we stretch our hamstring, because really, I don't know that that matters very much. But this practice is about exploring what it means to bear witness to our own experience with tenderness, so that our hands are emitting to ourselves both support and nurture, or support and care. And if the hamstrings get a sweet stretch, in the meantime, that's total bonus, right? Be present in your body for your life. When you feel called to switch sides, go for it. Do whatever you want on that journey. Whenever you get to your left side, you're straightening only to the degree that feels appropriate. And then the hands come alongside your upper leg with tenderness, which consists of support and nurture, or nurturance. Is that a word? I'm going to look it up later. Maybe this leg has lived a different life and has maybe some different challenges. My left leg is shaking here because it's weak, it has some injuries, but it can still try and be present. My mind can still try and be present. You're not looking at me, but I'm bending my left leg a little bit, and I'm sharing that with you just so that you know that there's no wrong or right way to be in a posture in yoga practice. Well, unless you're not paying attention, I guess that would be the wrong way. Shift your hand position now to somewhere else on your leg. It doesn't even have to be farther down. I mean, just making a shift so that your hands are in a different spot. Invite your jaw to remain soft and peaceful. And notice any amount of power that's here in this moment of bearing witness to yourself and your own experience. We live our lives in these bodies. And we're paying attention now. And that we're present for that life we're living. When you're ready to release this practice, go for it. Do whatever you like as a transition to your final relaxation. Gather props, blankets, sweatshirts, pillows, socks, a chair for your legs, or move to the wall. Or grab some pillows, put them between your knees as you roll onto one side, tuck them under your rib cage or under your head, or you can even do Shavasana lying on your belly. See what's here for you. Get settled. Take a couple of big deep breaths as you open your jaw real wide, and then release. Do that a couple more times. You can be noisy. Use your voice to exhale. Settle. And imagine the sensations in the body settling closer and closer to the ground, like the pulp of fruit juice settles to the bottom of a glass. How are your sensations in this moment? As you inhale, notice your hands and squeeze them into tight fists, bending your elbows, lifting your arms, and engaging every muscle from your shoulder or neck to your hand. Keep breathing in till you can't breathe in anymore. Exhale, release. And let your arms be at rest. If you like, notice your legs and feet. And as you inhale, flex your feet, engage all the muscles of your legs from your hips to your toes, maybe letting your legs float. Do what's right. Hold the breath. Exhale, release it to the ground and to the supports beneath. Notice your head and neck. And if you like, inhale, lift your head a millimeter from the floor. Feel all those muscles engage everywhere. Hold your breath. Hold it in. Keep breathing in till you can't anymore. And exhale, release, and let the weight of the head be cradled by the earth beneath you. And if there's any other place in the body that would benefit from that tense and release, please do that now. Maybe it's your belly. And then as you're ready, let go of the work of breathing and give it back over to your body. And invite your kind awareness to simply bear witness to the breath moving in and moving out, and the miracle of that. Notice any amount of gratitude for your breathing body. And if that doesn't feel right, perhaps just imagine being grateful for your breathing body. Just the possibility of gratefulness. When you imagine that, do any sensations arise in the body? If so, these are sensations of gratitude. This is what gratitude feels like in your body, not anyone else's body. Just yours. If you like, settle into your heart space or invite your awareness to notice your heart space. Call to mind the image of someone you like very much. Someone who has supported you, whether in the past or in the present. Imagine their face and imagine them smiling. Offer your gratitude to this person and see them receiving your thankfulness. What does it feel like for you to offer this thanks? Very gently let this image and practice fall away. And then call to mind someone whom you have supported and helped. See the face of this person, the image of this person's face in your mind's eye, and see them offering you thankfulness. See them offering you their gratitude for your support and help. What does it feel like to receive gratitude? What does that feel like in your body? Just notice. Very gently let this practice fall away. And simply notice any effects or sensations arising in your body. Soak in this gratitude for as long as you like. If you choose to close your formal practice time with me now, allow your hands to come to rest on your body in some way of nurture and support. Feel the connection between your hands and your body, noticing what it feels like to be held, to receive tenderness and care. Offer any amount of gratitude for these practices that help us live our full human lives. And offer gratitude for the immense amount of people and supports that bring this practice to us in our present day. May you be well. May you be well. May you be well in every kind of way. Thank you for your practice, and thank you for practicing with me. Please know that you can always reach out to me. You can find me on social media if you search The Catholic Yogi, and you can also directly email me at amy@thecatholicyogi.com if you want to chat further about any of the practices that I share here, about mindfulness, about yoga, about teaching yoga, about practicing yoga and mindfulness. I'd love to hear from you, so feel free to reach out. Thanks again. I appreciate you.